everybody, to Not Just Gaming. This is our Suicide Squad movie review. We're going to have a spoiler-free half and a spoiler-filled second half. We will provide images on this side for the spoiler-free. The spoiler section will be with the image on this side. AJ, can you please start us off?
Sure. You guys got it. I actually really enjoyed this movie. 10 times better than I enjoyed Batman vs. Superman.
We're pretty divided on this one. I think it's average.
I think it's pretty good.
And someone else we know thinks it sucks.
Yeah, we won't go there. So, personally, I felt that one of the strongest parts about this movie is the fact that the primary characters, which clearly are Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn and Will Smith as Deadshot, really stood out as like great character development, and you really kind of felt invested in these characters from the get-go.
One gripe I liked, well, not really gripe, but one thing I really liked was, usually with the DC movies, Batman, Superman, they took a different approach, and they had other, I'll put minor, Harley Quinn's pretty popular, but no one really knows Deadshot, nobody really knows Captain Boomerang, El Diablo.
Yeah.
So, to put all these
Suicide
minor...
Squad comics.
Yeah. If you put all these minor characters in to make a successful movie, that's pretty impressive to do.
Guardian status?
It might be.
This is basically the DC
Just not
universe.
with the critic raving?
Yeah.
No. You know what, though? I think it's just the critics are way too hard on DC. Yeah. I don't think they know what they want from DC. I think that they're just expecting too much of a excuse me, similar component to Marvel.
Yeah.
And they kind of just keep knocking it, throwing it under the bus. But on top of that, I also, as you were talking about Batman, I really enjoyed about this movie that both, as you can tell from the trailers, both Batman and the Joker actually do not play primary characters in this movie at all.
I think the most like 10, 15 minutes.
I'd say
between them it's probably a little less than 15 minutes combined.
Yeah. They both play integral parts to building into the story, but that's it. Well, they don't really play a part.
Joker has a small part in the actual story.
Well, yeah. He has like a component building on the dynamic of him and his relationship with Harley Quinn. But other than that, they really don't play an essential point to the plot.
I think any more Batman or Joker, it would have been a Batman movie.
Well, yeah, and I think that's kind of what they were aiming for. They were kind of trying to say, you know what?
They're teasing that Batman's coming.
Mm-hmm.
He's an important character because obviously he locks most of these people up. And it also builds to the fact that this isn't a clean slate for Batman. Like, this movie, it's not like it just started.
Yeah.
There's been some background and that Batman has put these people and he's locked them up.
So the main plot in general I felt was a bit rushed, and then when it rushed it kind of stopped to a crawl for a second and then it kind of sped right to the end.
It was like stop go. So
you think it was like kind of like the rising action was pretty strong, and then when we got to like
the rising action didn't go up, it just kind of went whoop, and then it kind of stagnated and then it went whoop, and that was it.
Okay. I kind of hear what you're getting at. So, basically, we'll give you a very basic breakdown on how the movie goes down. You have the group of the Suicide Squad. They basically kick off the movie, give you a little bit of like a origin story, which is a good like half hour to 40 minutes of the movie. Yeah.
They tell you about why they're all there. They tell you a little bit about each through a certain scene in the movie. Then there is an event that happens in the city. And Suicide Squad's called, and this event pretty much just takes up the whole movie.
Yeah. But like, I agree with what you're saying, that because of the fact that they focus so much on character development to obviously introduce you to all these unknown characters, I feel like the rest of the movie had to be rushed.
Yeah. Because
other than that, I feel like the story overall wasn't that strong.
It was
minus the
okay.
origins. I feel like that main, we'll say, problem that arises could have been better.
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of were just like, let's go for it. See what happens.
For me, initially, I didn't really care for all the origins, but looking at it now, I kind of really did like it. How they really, because no one really knows El Diablo or Katana, or I don't think they even show Katana in that, but Crocodile, Killer Croc. Also, some people do, but not many people.
Also to note that Katana is a superhero and not a villain.
Yeah.
One of the only superheroes in the movie.
Yeah.
That's why I think where the critics got it kind of confused too, because the fans know who they are, the critics not really.
I think this movie was made for fans.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But then again, I feel like even Batman vs Superman was a movie for fans. It wasn't made for critics. I mean, that's the biggest problem. A lot of people are. That's why I don't understand. I mean, I understand a critic has a job to do.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in seeing the fan movie that's made for the fans from Affleck because he loves Batman more than you love Steve Rogers.
That's probably.
And I believe Jeff Johns is taking it too.
He's working with Affleck. Yes.
So that's gonna be one solid movie.
That's a rock hard erection for somebody.
That is.
Yep.
Probably Affleck.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a lot of different pull in terms of building into the DC universe. There's a couple references to. They go back to Gotham. They replay the events of Batman vs Superman. At least the ending with.
Yeah.
Would it be constituted as a spoiler? What happens at the end of Batman vs Superman at this point?
Well, it's not the movie we're talking about, so I don't think it matters.
With the death of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
That was forced.
Air parentheses.
That was forced.
There might be a little thingy down here for spoiler, but
it was forced.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
It sucked.
Also, plays into you get to see more of Gotham City. You get a little more of a nod to another place that supposedly the Batman movie might take place in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to spoil it right yet.
But the only good thing Batman vs Superman left with, even though I didn't like how they killed Superman off, they did the death of Superman, plus this, plus whatever. They threw 3 movies together in that movie, but that doesn't matter. The only thing good that ties in from that to Suicide Squad is the ending credits scene.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
So, would there be anything that you guys would say that's not spoiler related that's a takeaway from this movie that you did not like?
Well, it's got spoilers in it.
I would just say in terms of the character development, some like Deadshot and Harley Quinn got pushed really far.
I'd be willing to see Jared Leto as the Joker in an actual movie, not just 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was too hard. You can't say
I'm
who
not
was
going
better.
to judge whether he was good or bad. He was just there.
It was definitely
Yeah,
not
that's
enough.
how I
Definitely
felt.
not enough.
Yeah, I felt that
really-
there was definitely not enough time to give him an actual good opinion on it, whether or not he played the Joker.
I'm
well
interested in seeing what else he can do. I'm pretty sure everyone is because no one really got a clear cut answer from that.
Yes, I mean, I guess from this point forward we will
Halt.
make this.
Spoilers.
Down here,
Yeah,
you'll see a little Jared Leto-y.
yeah, we'll plop somebody.
Leto
He'll be-
logo here.
He'll be damaged in the corner.
So basically now we'll kick this off strictly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Spoilers.
This is going to be the plot. So as we said, you have the crisis, which is in Midway City.
Midway, like the company? Midway?
Yes.
X company.
X company, yes.
You have,
Amanda Waller.
which you find out to be the actual villain who was supposed to be part of the Suicide Squad, which doesn't actually happen, is Enchantress.
Enchantress.
She winds up breaking hold of Amanda Waller's control. Winds up freeing her brother, which you don't really find out.
That was at breakneck speed, developing
that was
her
like-
brother.
Yeah,
My brother! Okay.
Yeah.
That was what really confusing part because they just like guy on the subway. Let me just take him, and he's my brother now apparently. So.
One guy got up to take a piss at that point when she was in the subway. Came back, he's like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, he got the whole movie confused in 5-minute break.
Didn't know the Enchantress became like Mayan goddess, and then her brother was like giant flame guy. Who broke things.
Yeah, basically. That's part of the problem when we said that the plot was rushed, because if you weren't paying attention for that short period of time,
Snap your fingers.
totally,
It was
totally lost.
They could have developed it in like another scene where it's just Amanda Waller talking about, oh, well, we found another relic in the cave, and we believe it may be relating to her somehow. Could be another god they worshipped or something. Just a few
Well, no,
lines
it's
of
in
dialogue.
the pamphlet that she has.
Yes, but no one could read the
We're
pamphlet.
supposed to get handouts of all that at the movie so we can get caught up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, trouble ensues. They call upon the Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad gets sent to Midway City to do
With
what
Katana.
what they do best.
Katana wants to kill everybody because they're all villains.
Yep, and the soldier that they're with, is it
Rick Flag.
Rick Flag, yeah. Basically, he's just like, no, they're cool. Just leave them be.
So we could talk about in the actual
Oh,
origins.
and then Slipknot died in like 5 seconds into the mission.
Yeah, so in the origins, we had Batman with Deadshot and Harley Quinn. We had The Flash with Captain Boomerang. And this just happened, I'm pretty sure, just today. They said that Wonder Woman captured Slipknot. That was the...
Really?
Yeah. Wonder
I
Woman
didn't even
captured
realize
Slipknot.
that.
It wasn't in the movie at all, but
I guess we'll get like an end credit scene that kind of like
yeah,
goes
Probably.
he was.
backwards.
He said he was choking. He had an interview. I forget the guy's name. He was choking Wonder Woman. So that just basically means that he got put there by her. And that was really it for spoiler wise for like other DC characters, like popular main DC characters.
Yeah, I did see a rumor early on that the Flash there was supposedly an end credit scene, but I guess they.
Yeah, they said
Threw him in the movie?
major spoiler DC character is involved in the movie, but they never said. I didn't want to look at it. And he just showed up, and there was Ezra Miller.
Literally 3 seconds.
Yeah, it was like a couple. It was like a couple seconds.
It was gone in a flash.
Good. Well, that was something else.
So we continue with the conflict. You see that the Joker slips Harley Quinn his cell phone during her lockup.
Nobody notices this.
Nobody notices except like 8 people that
Besides
saw
the
the
security
cell phone.
guard's like, Joker, left you a phone.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit apparently. She just palms it.
Even Will Smith saw it and he just went, shh. I'm like, okay, that's something.
Yep. Also, they do pay homage to Harley Quinn's other variations.
Mm-hmm.
The jester
the
outfit.
gesture outfit.
The
and
mallet.
The mallet. Yeah, they pulled a little bit from all the
No
different-
roller skates though.
No.
Next time.
We also got a little bit of a look into the romance between Joker and Harley Quinn, beginning from when she was the nurse at Arkham, which is what I was referring to as another place that they spoiled.
Yes. And it's a lot more lovey-dovey than the abusive kinda...
Which is a little bit different for those that are familiar with the Joker in the DC comic universe.
It's kind of like a shitty Twilight romance.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much.
Because
I can't live without you.
Yep.
Me either.
Is that supposed to be Jared Leto?
I don't know.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
That was pretty good.
Okay.
So we keep going on from there. We have they rescue. You find out one of the actual main mission was to rescue Amanda Waller from this building.
It was HVT-1.
The building that got attacked, strangely enough.
Yep.
But not strangely enough, because coincidentally, that building she decided to be in is the one they're also doing the ritual like 2 feet from. And her heart's in the building where Amanda Waller is.
Yep. They then go to get picked up by helicopter, which is then turned to be actually hijacked by the Joker.
Yep.
And Harley Quinn escapes. This is then a judgment call and more on the character development of Deadshot.
It shows you his humanity again.
Yep.
As they did earlier in the movie, because he could not kill Batman in a flashback because he loved his daughter too much, and she looked up to Batman because he's a superhero.
Yep. Then you had Amanda Waller telling him put Harley Quinn down.
And at that point they were friends, so he's like, I ain't doing this. So he missed.
Yep. And he never
never
they make
misses.
heavy emphasis in the movie that he does not miss.
He literally killed like 300 guys without missing. And then it looks like Harley died, but it's an obvious fake out.
And the Joker dies, in quotes.
Yes.
Yes.
We
knew they weren't going to kill
Chopper
him.
gets taken down. Harley Quinn gets separated from the Joker.
She gets thrown out of a helicopter onto a roof like 30 feet below.
And rolls, and she's like, I'm good.
It does that barrel roll.
Do barrel.
Do barrel. So then she rejoins the squad that's left. Obviously, without Slipknot.
Slipknot died in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Because they have the
Movie's
things in their necks. If they try to escape, give them lip, whatever.
I think the funniest part in the movie was in the bar. Rip destroys the arm piece that lets him control the bombs. And he's like, you're free to go. Captain Boomerang literally fucking runs out of the bar.
Takes off out.
Everyone got a snicker out of that one.
And then he just comes back.
Then they do the badass march down towards the building they got to attack. And he's like, I'm here. And he's drinking like fucking 3 Nosses. He's like,
with his unicorn.
Yes, with his unicorn.
Oh, yep.
Full of money, by the way.
Yep.
I believe it was Fluffy. Was the name?
Yeah,
Fluffy.
I think it was Fluffy.
Fluffy.
So they get to the train station. They get inside. The Enchantress starts fucking with them a little bit.
Ooh.
Shows them what they want in life.
El Diablo's got the devil inside of him, so he's like, this is a trick, this is bullshit.
Yep.
And then he shakes everyone else out. And then he turns into Kotal Khan from Mortal Kombat.
That's exactly what he did.
And it's literally the coolest moment in the movie.
Exactly.
And he starts beating the shit out of this other Mayan god, so it's like, it's cool.
It's pretty intense.
And then, even though he's like all fire, he dies in an explosion.
Presumed dead. We don't know yet. We don't 100%
He's dead.
know.
I'm guaranteed dead.
And that was probably one of the biggest moments for Killer Croc too.
I feel like it was.
He didn't get anything really besides that.
He did beat the shit out of Enchantress when she was teleporting around.
He did though.
Then it leads to they destroy the Enchantress.
And save the day.
Yep.
And
Everybody thinks that the other form of Enchantress, the human,
she's still alive.
form,
Yeah.
think that she's dead. Of course, revelation, she's alive.
Oh, those damn happy endings.
Yep. Couldn't have a sad ending. So, at that point, Amanda Waller turns around and goes, "Yep, well, you guys just got 10 years off your sentence." And
Everyone wants
Deadshot's
out,
like,
but
"Oh, fuck no."
so they all got little favors. They I
They
believe.
got little extras.
So
Amanda
Deadshot,
Waller was feeling generous.
Deadshot gets to see his daughter, I think, like once every month or something like that. Harley Quinn got an espresso machine.
Yes.
Yes.
Not really useful.
I don't think Boomerang, because they showed him in the end. I don't think he got anything.
No, because he tried to kill Amanda Waller at the end.
Yeah.
So he's
He
just
got-
screaming.
You're going in a cell.
He
Oh.
starts screaming.
Killer Croc got a TV.
He got BET.
Yep.
That's what it was.
He got cable.
He got
He was
cable.
happy. It was a 3D TV, too.
And I don't think El Diablo got. Oh, well, he's dead.
dead.
Never mind.
Yeah, he got plenty.
he got heaven.
I wish he didn't die. He was cool.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends with the breakout and escape of
Oh, yeah. Harley gets
Quinn.
broken out by Joker, who
is not
surprise,
dead.
alive.
And that's it.
And that ends the movie into the credits.
Yes.
Also, I forgot another funny scene. She said, "Well, sorry, Croc, you're all ugly." And he's like, honey, I'm beautiful."
He is pretty beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. But yes, there is only one end credit sequence.
I don't think they're doing the two like Marvel. I think they're just doing
probably
the
not.
one.
At least this time. I'm sure Justice League will have like 5 end credit scenes.
Probably.
Yep.
For each character.
It's good
That's
though.
it.
The Flash will take everybody home one at a time, and that's the end credit scene.
That's not bad at all.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going home.
You have then, which I'm pretty sure was actually shown off in the trailer. It's the sit down between Amanda Waller and Bruce Wayne. I'm pretty sure that
I'm
scene
not 100% sure. It could
Just
have
showing
been.
her.
is showing her
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
dinner table. I
Mhm.
think that was from the trailer.
Could have been.
And it's him basically requesting information.
He wants her files that she had in the movie that got thrown out into the wind somewhere, and she somehow
On
recovered
all the
them,
metahumans that are around.
Yes.
including the dead ones.
And she flips
And-
through. You see Enchantress.
You see Aquaman,
Yeah,
you see
Aquaman.
Flash.
I think that's what they showed though. They didn't show anybody else.
No, I mean, but who knows how many people were in there.
Besides
yeah.
all the Suicide Squad.
But they were
members.
also talking about how he did this for her, and I'm pretty sure in reference to getting all the villains locked up.
I also think I believe
Yes.
he said if she doesn't stop it, he will, which was another.
He said, stop this now. Me and my men will
Me
take
and
care
my
of it."
friends will
Yeah.
take care of this. Not men. Me and my friends
We'll
will
see.
take care of this.
So you know what that means.
Well, yeah, you know
That
what
means
it is.
he's already been gathering people.
Yep.
Meaning this is happening at some point during the Justice League movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He's
so-
doing his own thing while trying to
So,
catch Deadshot.
Do you
too,
think
he's
we'll
doing
get a
it.
callback to this scene in the Justice League movie?
Probably not.
Probably not.
There might be a reference to maybe the stack of papers.
maybe
but I think that's
maybe
about
Amanda
it.
Waller, just her alone. But that's I don't see it like.
Okay.
Remember the time we were sitting in the diner and you gave me all the information. I think just.
I think that'll be too much cheese fest. but-
Oh yeah.
I mean, if anything, knowing DC, they like to do things like subtle.
It should be like
They don't
on
like to be
the
obvious.
packet by Amanda that Amanda Waller gave me.
Yeah.
That's probably about it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, like
saw
Alfred walks in. This is the paperwork that Waller gave you or something
Well,
like that.
I mean, he has it in his hand when he leaves. So.
Yeah, but if they're in the Batcave or something,
Alfred, I'm too lazy to walk. Get me my
Jeremy
fucking
Irons, get over
files.
here.
that's it.
Okay, Master Bruce.
Overall, I mean, now that I can speak freely, I feel like it was a solid movie. Not like the best movie on the fucking earth.
No, it definitely had its flaws.
I feel like you said, there was good character development. However, it sped up too quick just to try to fit in the rest of the plot, and then when it got into Midway City, it just died.
Mm-hmm.
You knew they were going to spend a lot of time on Harley. You knew they were going to spend a lot of time on Deadshot. It was just.
Well, yeah,
It's
they were
just
on the
completely
forefront of promotion.
Yeah.
Like I said, the relationship between Harley and Joker just didn't seem too faithful, but obviously it wasn't long enough to be like.
You can't judge it.
I still judge it, but that's not the point. It wasn't long enough to have like full hate or full love for it.
Yeah.
It was just he was like, "You're the most important. I'm not the most important," and it's the opposite in the other forms of media, whether it's the movies,
Yep.
cartoon, comics. It's an abusive relationship where he doesn't really care about her except when he needs her.
Basically.
But now it's like, "Oh, you complete me, Harley," and then she basically he has her like kind of call the shots, even though he's like, "Kill him." He's like, well, I'll kill him. And fucking shoots him.
Yeah.
The only time it really seems like it could have been a callback to the abuse relationship is when he throws her in the acid pit. You know, to transform into Harley. And he's thinking about walking away. And then, of course, turns around and is like, oh, fuck. Then he dives in.
Yep, that's true. I didn't even actually think about that, to be honest. You also have the... there's obviously potential for another Suicide Squad movie.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, with the death of El Diablo, allows for new characters to be
He's just going to come back in.
King Shark,
He's gonna
potentially.
come back in from his
Oh, we
son.
need King Shark. We need the CGI King Shark from the Flash.
You're not getting
That's it. That's all I want.
Nope.
I'll just have all of him. Just all of him in the
No,
movie.
you're getting a real King Shark.
Oh, like an actual shark?
I mean, this also could allow for a potential
Deathstroke.
friendship or lead to romance between Deadshot and Harley Quinn. Because I think in the new 52, I think they kind of dabbled. Or in the new comic series they have.
It was like teased. Mostly, Harley's just kind of struck out to being independent and getting into like her female bromance with Ivy.
Good.
Yeah, Ivy also gives her superhuman abilities too.
Isn't that when they start kicking off the independent comic series of Harley Quinn,
Mhm.
basically? Yeah.
Well, it was even before New 52, but she got like superhuman speed, strength, agility. Basically, she became like a metahuman, basically.
Good.
But through like somehow like the Ivy's plant injected her and like changed her biology and shit.
Alright, so let's go
Weird.
down the row. We'll start with you. Number out of 10, and would you see it again in theaters?
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Would I see it again in theaters? Probably not. I usually don't see a movie more than once in a theater unless it's really fucking good.
Yeah, Deadpool.
If it's a Marvel movie, he'll watch it 8 times.
No, I only saw Civil War twice.
Yeah, I saw
Wow.
Deadpool. I saw Deadpool 4 times.
Well, he fapped
That
the
was
first
that
time.
wasn't good.
Yeah.
If he didn't fap, he would have saw it another
What about
day.
you?
Number out of 10. And would you
6.
see it again? 6?
6?
You see it again?
Really?
Maybe.
In a theater, or would you just wait till it got on DVD?
I'd probably watch it again once it's out of the theaters, but I might go see it depending on if I go with someone or not.
I'd probably say, yeah, same thing with an 8. And I'll say yes, I will see it again. Possibly. Just to get like other things that I missed. And if you don't care for this movie, check out Batman Assault on Arkham. It's basically Suicide Squad. I think it's better.
With a little more Batman.
Yeah, a little more Batman, a little more Joker. But it's good. It's really, really good.
It's not any of the voices in the movie, but it's the classic voices.
You got Kevin Conroy. And I believe Troy Baker as a Joker. Not Mark Hamill, of course.
Alright.
That's
We got an 8, we got a 6, we got a 8. You're the oddball on this one. Anything that you think that really stood out that kind of deterred your...
the plot.
the plot was the big one?
Being pushed too fast. And then slowed and then pushed.
Do you think that the critics are being a little overly harsh on this movie, though?
Sure.
I mean, it's
I
got like
think
a
so.
33 on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's under that. I think it's like 29 now.
Well,
It dropped down.
Immediately when this came out, the first initial reviews were comparing it to Guardians, which is very unfair. One, because that's a Marvel movie versus the Warner Brothers movie. And then also Batman vs. Superman, which I think Suicide Squad was better than Batman vs. Superman.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'd have to think about that.
Batman vs. Superman had a lot of jumping around opposed to this movie. This movie kind of stuck to a linear
Yeah.
plot.
I hated Doomsday and Batman vs. Superman. I hated they killed Superman for no reason. And Lois Lane was a damsel in distress for no reason as well.
Too much, I would say. Way
Yeah.
too much.
She literally ran into a crumbling building and then dropped the weapon that could kill her boyfriend. And then he had to go rescue her, almost kill himself getting the weapon back, and then
Yeah.
kill himself killing Doomsday.
Yeah, that's true.
What the fuck? She fucked up so bad. Especially since she was like strong, independent woman in the first one.
Yeah.
So, any other final thoughts? Or
If you didn't like Batman vs. Superman, you didn't like Suicide Squad, give Wonder Woman a shot.
Wonder Woman seems to be the complete turnaround for this,
And
ratings wise.
listen
Yeah.
to the music. Wonder
The
Woman music.
Wonder Woman
It is the
theme
greatest
song
theme song ever.
is the best out of the DC movie side
I can't
so
argue
far.
that.
It's
Pretty
just
intense.
it's just too.
Gets you ready.
It really does.
Yeah. If you haven't seen Batman vs. Superman, just check out the scene where they introduce Wonder Woman for the first time on
Amazing.
screen, and it's just epic. It's tied in with that theme music. It's just
It's just
ridiculous.
too good.
It's
way
World
too
War
good.
One too for the movie, so it should be very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, I think we're done here. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys subscribe. Check out some of our other reviews, unboxings, and take it easy. Bye.
squad!